But I've been to, you know how I don't like going to the doctors and stuff?
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're always scared that they might investigate below the bridge.
Yeah, but I checked on that before. I signed up to it, and then they said, right, before we can take you on as a patient, you've got to have a health check, right? Which I thought was odd, because it's almost like saying, if you're ill, we can't be having you coming here, right? But I said, right, okay, fair enough, what is this health check? And they said, oh, you know, we just check your body out and make sure you're fit and healthy. And I thought, that isn't enough information. You know, I want to know if it's the old finger trick, or... And I said, what do you mean, though, when you said health check, what do you do? And she said, oh, it's just... I think she knew what I was getting at. And she said, oh, it's just the blood pressure, your height, your weight.
Okay.
That's about it. So I went and had it and stuff. But you had to... Before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor, they give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was, if you die... what do you want to give away? Right, like a donor. And it had like it's basically everything you've got in you. It was all your main bits: your liver, your heart, your kidney, and what have you. And I thought I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, you know, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was. I think it was 4th on the list.
Right.
So they just sort of crammed it in. I think they know everybody's a bit cautious about giving their eyes away.
No one cares more about the eyes than the liver or the... Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead? Just
because of that thing of, you know, we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing...
Right,
you don't know for sure if...
Well, why would there be? How would there be? How would it work? Why do you think there's an afterlife? Why do you think there's... Why...
because we're here already. It blows my mind that we're wandering about this planet anyway. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we're here just by...
Gravity blows your mind, Carl.
No, but do you know what I mean? The fact of your mum and dad have it away and then you just pop out and it's like, how's that happened? And then it's the
what
fact
happens
that
is the father inserts his...
No, but what I mean is, you know, not just that bit. How I've said before about my heart just sort of pumping away on its own. No one's keeping an eye on it. It's not plugged into anything. No. And yet I want to move my hand like that and it does it.
Yeah.
That blows me away, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're still worried about whether you control your brain or the brain controls you.
So what I'm saying is, how do you know what goes on after life? Because, do you know what I mean?
So why in an afterlife would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart?
Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, alright, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh God! Oh, it's amazing! That's an amazing image!
So I didn't tick that box.
but why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost... Say like how they've seen ghosts in...
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo-jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah...
When they see ghosts in, like, old castles and stuff...
Yeah.
They've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right, years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out...
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm. So the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No, it does.
It just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in...
Who makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever. Even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, so it's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they stuck with it. So that's
Why
what I'm
did you see
saying with the eyes.
cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your
But
arse?
why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done. If that's you saying.
No. But you might have both been suddenly killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
A meteorite hit you, or
Well, that's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round, bent forward.
Going,
You've got a
"Oh."
doctor's finger up your arse,
Yeah.
and what are you doing?
You start going, oh, and that's when you have to get the vicar round
What do you mean?
because they have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. Okay, right.
See, I don't want to get caught with someone with their finger up my arse when the vicars come round.
The last thing I want to catch me is the vicar coming in,
Oh,
but
I
I've
can't
got
believe it,
a
yeah.
doctor's finger at my arse. I usually hide in the wardrobe when
Yeah,
that happens.
whenever that happens.
So listen,
forget it.
no, wait. So you're haunting, right? It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're around this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the doctor there, the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right, and he's got his fingers up this sort of like little, it's like a chimpanzee but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be. Are you saying the doctor dies as well?
Yeah,
you both
they
died.
die at the same time with his finger up your ass. And so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. Here's another one.
This is extraordinary.
No,
Triple.
but listen to this. Listen to this. This is a
Right.
good one.
Oh,
I'd
this
like
will
to see
convince
you-
us. This one.
Yeah, this way, okay.
Answer this.
This will be proof. Go on.
I watched a programme the other week about dead people.
Of course you did.
Right, and it was people who had been found in their house. You know, they haven't got any family. They died sat in their armchair. Nobody's knocking on the door, ringing them, and checking if they're all right.
Yeah.
Right, so they die
Yeah.
and they rot away in the chair.
No.
People, you know, the next door neighbour called up whoever you call up for dead people and go, "There's a dead body next door. It's stinking. Can you come and get rid of it?" Right? They go in.
I
And
forget what service that is.
I don't know where you find that in the Yellow Pages.
It's a good business, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Hello, corpse removal.
Stinky dead people.
so they go in. There's flies everywhere.
Of course there is, yeah.
The doors and the windows are shut. Where are them flies from?
What do you mean?
Do you know that thing, reincarnation?
Yeah.
I think there it is. There's an example of it. How there was no flies in there. A body rots
Yeah.
away. Out of the body comes flies. So you live
Yes. Or, out of the body comes flies from the maggots that were in the body.
on. Oh, okay, maggot then. So we've gone on. We've lived on.
What do you mean?
I'm just
the
saying
fly
now it
isn't
lives
a
on.
reincarnation of the maggot. The maggot is the larval stage of the fly.
No, but forget all the maggot fly.
Right.
Think about going from man to a fly.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying the windows and the doors on this house was shut
Yeah.
tight.
Now,
no,
your
no
question
flies
is-
had got in. They hadn't got in.
They had got in.
They hadn't.
They're already there. We're surrounded by them. We've probably got fly eggs on us now.
Well, all I'm saying is, it's weird that them flies were in there when they weren't in there. I don't think this fella would have had loads of fly eggs on him.
But
I just think it's a bit odd.
Why? What do you mean?
I just think there was loads of them. You didn't see it.
But it only takes one fly to lay loads of eggs.
Yeah, but
So you think it's wiser to ignore Ricky's answer and go with your ghostly supernatural reincarnation one? You think that's the wise, sensible way to go?
I just think it's a bit odd how every time someone's got fly eggs on them.
So
everybody-
that to you is less of a chance of happening than when you die. Some of you turns into flies, fly parts.
Well, that happened when my dad chucked a turkey away in a bin. And it was only in there for about a day. I went to go and put like a crisp packet in the bin at the end of the garden and what have
Yeah.
you. Picked the lid off, full of flies.
Yeah.
Now the bin lid. Yeah.
It's like a constant fight with his own brain.
was fairly sealed and what have you.
Yeah.
Again, it's the turkey living on.
No, it's not.
We're
it's
all
the
the
fact that
same.
while it was out on the table.
It hadn't been out on the table. We didn't eat it in the end because it had feathers on it. My mum said, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah, but What do you mean? It had feathers on it.
My dad got it off a mate and said, "Yeah, I've got this for Christmas," but it was still virtually alive. And my mum said, "Oh, I'll just get one from the supermarket." So we put it in the bin.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I'm telling you, the eggs were already on it, mate.
it's just an idea about it. It's a theory. Everyone's allowed one.
But it's bollocks.